Hey there folks, this is DMC Jedi Man, and I'm coming to you with another video. Today's video is going to be a spoiler-filled reaction, or not reaction, a spoiler-filled review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I went to see that earlier today. Don't forget, if you like my content, to like and subscribe and keep your eyes peeled for whatever I have coming next. And if you like video games, be sure to check out my gaming channel where I do Let's Plays of video games. Currently, I'm working my way through Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. There's also a couple random videos up. They'll be series at some point. Though once I'm done Skywalker Saga, Lego Indiana Jones, the original adventures will be the next one. But let's get on into this. So, and as I said before, actually before getting into this, again, let me reiterate, this is the spoiler-filled review. I will be doing a spoiler-free review as well, but this is the one that contains all the spoilers. So if you have not seen Multiverse of Madness yet, then what are you waiting for? Go watch it, then come back to hear my thoughts. Okay, let's begin. So, the film opens up with America Chavez and a Doctor Strange from a different universe. They're in the space between the universes battling this giant tentacle demon. And the Doctor Strange that's trying to protect America is killed, and America ends up escaping through a portal into the universe of the main Marvel film timeline. I want to say they called it 616, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah, or 616. At the same time, our Doctor Strange is attending the wedding of Christine, and during the reception, he notices that there's a commotion on the streets. Turns out it's America Chavez fighting this monster that's come through after her. It's trying to steal her power, which is to freely travel through the multiverse, though she hasn't really learned how to control this power yet. With the help of Doctor Strange and Wong, they managed to destroy this creature that was chasing her. So afterwards, they retreat to Comatage, I think, or Comortage. I'm not sure of the pronunciation of it. And Strange seeks out Wanda, because obviously he knows that you know, she has magic and therefore might be able to help defend America. Unfortunately, it turns out that Wanda is the one behind the monster attacks. She has been sending monsters through the multiverse after America Chavez in order to capture her and take her powers so that she may find a universe where her boys are and be able to get them and live with them again. Obviously, Wanda's twins are a plot point that was brought up in WandaVision, so yes, you should definitely be watching the TV shows because they do intersect, and that's not the only show from Disney Plus that is brought up in here. So, Wanda, has been reading the Darkhold, and it's got its clutches in her. And she tells him, look, you either give me America or I'm going to come and fuck your shit up. Obviously, Strange and Wong decide to defend America, so Wanda shows up at Comatage and lays waste to the place. She ends up breaking their barrier by convincing one guy to run, and all hell breaks loose there, really. So they end. So basically, Chavez accidentally activates her powers and transports her and Strange to Earth 838. Meanwhile, Wanda starts using the Darkhold to try and dreamwalk into other versions of herself in the different universes to continue going after America. Because at this point, she's done sending monsters after her. She's gonna try and do this herself. She's not gonna get back on the lunchbox doing this. So in this other universe, Steven and America Chavez, they travel to where the Sanctum is and discover that supposedly the Strange of that universe died protecting people from Thanos. And Baron Mordo is the new Sorcerer Supreme there. And he drugs them and brings them to this place, like an underground bunker, where the Illuminati are stationed. So Mordo, he feels that the biggest threat to their universe is Strange himself, because, as we know, Doctor Strange has a nasty habit of fucking with spells and magic that he doesn't really understand or doesn't heed the consequences of, and it always comes back to bite him in the rear. I mean, it's happened time and time again. So, Mordo's not entirely wrong about this. So, anyway, Mordo imprisons America and Strange in these, like, they're not plexiglass, but they're like these see-through, almost unbreakable containers. I say almost because later on, America does manage to use her power to break hers open. But Stephen is brought before the Illuminati, which consists of quite an interesting lineup. So we have a different version of. So basically, we have Captain Peggy Carter, Captain Carter, where Peggy Carter became Captain America. So you had to have watched What If for some of these, because that one's from that. You got King Black Bolt, which, full disclosure, I never watched the Inhumans series, so I don't know if it's the same guy from it. You got Captain Maria Rambeau, who is Captain Marvel of this universe. You have Dr. Reed Richards. So yeah, Fantastic Four, Reed Richards. So that's awesome. And Professor Charles Xavier. And I love this little bit that when Professor X comes out, they play the 97 X-Men theme. Dun 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 dun. That's so awesome. So anyway, they confer, that Steven's a threat to the multiverse, and whatnot. And meanwhile, Wanda has dreamwalked into her version in, her counterpart in this universe, and has arrived at the Illuminati's place to capture America. All of the defenders, except for Baron Mordo and Professor X, go to stop her, and they all get slaughtered. I mean, Reed Richards gets, kind of detangled, like turned into string cheese. Black Bolt, his mouth is magically removed, so when he tried to speak, he blows a hole in his head. It's so fucking gruesome. Captain Carter, I think, gets cut in half. They don't really show it, like, graphically, but that's what I perceive to have happened to her. Monica, Captain Marvel, gets crushed under debris. I should mention before I continue on that the Doctor Strange from this universe actually did not die fighting Thanos. They killed him basically he defeated Thanos, but he also knew that they couldn't really keep him around in this world. So Black Bolt destroyed him with a whisper. Sorry, I kind of forgot about that part. Anyway, back to the current events in here. So Professor X, tells Stephen that he needs to find the Book of Vishanti, which is the one thing that can really counteract the Darkhold. Then he goes to assist his teammates. He goes into Wanda's mind, but unfortunately, Wanda ends up breaking his neck. So the only one left of them is Mordo. Oh, and there's a version of Christine in this universe. She's actually working at this bunker place, so she's keeping an eye on America, trying to free her. But as I said, America uses her powers to break out. So Doctor Strange manages to get loose of his restraints and, defeats Mordo and runs to save the day. He reunites with Christine and America, and they go through this tunnel which goes under the Hudson River, or at least under a river. I don't know if it specifically is the Hudson or not, but they end up destroying the tunnel to put a stop to Wanda getting through. And I think it's kind of clever how the lock to the door where the Book of Vishanti is, it's opened by putting the broken watch that Doctor Strange carries around with him. So they go through the door, they find the Book of Vishanti, but the book gets destroyed because Wanda does make it in there, and America opens a portal, and if memory serves me right, I'm pretty sure Wanda throws Strange and Christine, into this other dimension. So this other dimension looks like it's a dimension that's it's been fucked up. The way I see it, I think it's the dimension that the Doctor Strange, who tried to rewind time in an alternate universe where Christine died. It was a what if episode, and I want to say that this is supposed to be that same universe, even though there are events in this that make it where it probably isn't, considering that the evil, twisted Doctor Strange from this one ends up getting killed, whereas the other one is, watching over Thanos and what is it? It was Thanos and Ultron, Arnim Zola, locked in a eternal struggle. But anyway, so they arrive in this, horrible universe. They seek out the Sanctum. Doctor Strange confronts this evil Strange. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't have his line from the trailer where he's like, "Things just got out of hand." That was such a great line. It gave me chills, and they didn't keep it in there. But he fights this other Doctor Strange. The other Strange is killed, and because this other Strange also has the Darkhold, so our Strange decides that the only thing he can do is use the Darkhold to dreamwalk into the other Strange's corpse from the beginning of the movie, which had come through the portal with America and they had buried it. So he does that, takes control, so we get a zombie Doctor Strange, and he uses like the souls of the damned as a cape. Of course, the damned try and stop him first, but he's able to get control over him, and Christine's able to help him to do that. So, oh yeah, I kind of forgot to mention something else earlier. Sorry, I'm kind of going backwards here for a bit, but Wanda's copy of the Darkhold got destroyed, so she had to go to this place where the Darkhold was originally inscribed and to do so, she kidnapped Wong, made him bring her there. Wong had gotten knocked over the edge of a cliff because this place, it turned out to be like a shrine to Wanda, like a throne room for her almost. So anyway, back to our main point. Sorry, I just realized I was about to mention Wong. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention what happened earlier. Again, I've only seen this movie once, and it was a few hours ago, so my thoughts are kind of running wild. So anyway, like I was saying, Stephen, mind walks in the corpse of the other Doctor Strange, uses the souls of the damned to fly to this temple, engages Wanda in a battle, and ultimately it's looking like he's going to lose. I mean, he and Wong managed to take out the giant monster things that were serving Wanda there, but you know, it's not looking good for him. But then America, you know, she talks to Strange and he tells her, because at first she's thinking that he's there to, take her power for himself, which would kill her. And Strange is like, no, you stay true to you, you know. So she realizes the way to defeat Wanda. So she opens a portal that sends Wanda right where she wanted to be, into a universe where her kids are and another Wanda. And she's trying to, she's attacking the mom, ordering the kids to, come to her, and she realizes she's horrifying them. She's like, I never hurt you guys, and she realizes that all she's doing is hurting them. It's a great moment where Wanda kind of comes back to herself. Like, there's not really I mean, I know she does do something good in the end, but she's really the villain in this. Like, when the trailers dropped, I thought maybe there was a chance that she'd do some not so great things, but I didn't expect her to be full evil asshole in this movie. But she realizes though that, she's turned into a monster, that her kids are afraid of her, and that it's not what she wanted. So she makes a sacrifice, where she dies, I'm pretty sure, when the temple collapses on top of her. But what she does though is destroys the Darkhold in all realities, or at least we're led to believe it's all realities. There's a chance one survives somewhere, you know. So with that, Wanda's story seems to have come to an end, and I will say I did not expect it, but afterwards America, finds where Doctor Strange and Christine are. They send Christine back to her universe. Strange seems to have healed some of the scars in his heart. He repairs the watch. They start to rebuild Kamatage. America starts using, training to use magic there. And at some point later, Strange is leaving his house right before the credits start, and he starts crying out in pain, and we see a third eye has appeared on his forehead. Now, there are two credit scenes. The first credit scene, Strange gets approached by a sorceress who warned him that his actions triggered an incursion, and opens a portal to the dark dimension for Strange to follow her to fix it. I'm not sure who this sorceress is, but that's probably going to lead into one of the next movies. And then the other post-credit scene is a character who was called Pizza Papa, who was played by Bruce Campbell. He was basically made to start beating himself up. And this, Strange said that it could last, maybe 3 weeks or so. So in this credit scene, he's beating the crap out of himself, and he goes to punch himself, and all of a sudden his hand stops, and he realizes that the spell's not working anymore. And he looks us right in the eyes and he goes, "It's over." It's just such a brilliant, funny scene. But man, this movie was so good. I mean, there was a few things I wasn't as much a fan of. Like, I kind of wish we had seen a little more of the Illuminati Council. There's a few characters I wish we had seen. I'm glad with what we did get, but I really wanted to see Nicolas Cage back as Johnny Blaze. That would have been the thing that would have really hyped this movie even more for me. I mean, there are other cameos that would have been cool too, but that was the one I wanted to see the most. Also, I feel like they could have used America Chavez to greater potential in this movie. I mean, she is a fan favorite character, though I'm hoping we will get to see her shine in later movies. Making Wanda the main villain for this was an interesting move, especially since I know she took a villainous turn in the WandaVision series, you know, though you could argue that she was kind of manipulated in the part of that, and she didn't intentionally take everyone over in the town. It just kind of blossomed into happening from her grief, but it still wasn't a good thing she had done. But she went full on villain here. You know, Wanda as a villain is terrifying. So I think they could have utilized more of the Doctor Stranges, particularly the evil Strange. I kind of wish we had seen more of him. Obviously, I feel they should have had that one line about things getting out of hand. I mean, it was such a good line in the trailer that I feel that they cut out. There were some pretty good funny moments, like, the talking about Spider-Man, and they're like, does he shoot webs from his butt? And he's like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of nice bringing Christine back into things, and showing that they do still care for each other, even though things didn't quite work. I think it's very symbolic, showing that Doctor Strange repaired the watch, you know, which was, if I remember correctly, I could be getting this wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was broken during the car crash that crippled Stephen's hands. So it was one of those tethers to the past that Strange couldn't let go of. Now that he's let go, it's, he's moving on from his past. But he still makes a lot of magical mistakes. I love the fact that they had things in there that you had to watch, WandaVision and What If to really appreciate. And I'm sure there's a ton of Easter eggs. Obviously, there's plenty of them that even I didn't quite know, like the sorceress at the end. I'm not sure who she was. Probably some major character, but it was a fun movie. Had a few things I might have done differently or changed, but overall, it's pretty cool. And I'm hoping that we'll get some of the other characters in the main timeline. Like, particularly, I want to see how the Fantastic Four get handled. You know, I'd also like to see more multiverse stuff where they keep bringing back some of the old actors. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home was such an incredible movie with, the three different Spider-Men and all the villains. I just want to see a movie that has some more of that feel, where you got some more of the classic, you know, characters that we've come to love. I mean, I know there's some people that don't love some of them. I mean, Nicolas Cage does get a lot of hate from people as Ghost Rider. Personally, I hated the second Ghost Rider movie, but I loved the first one. But yeah, so this has been my spoiler-filled review. Overall, in terms of the full score I would give this movie, I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. It's a good movie. Go check it out. Don't let the naysayers, stop you. I had a blast, the whole time. Like I said, stay to the end of the credits because you don't want to miss that funny credits ending scene. Anyway, this has been DMC Jedi Man, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace, everybody.